My name is Keith Dalton. I am the aquarium curator here at Cabela's. I maintain all of the aquariums and feed all of the fish. We've got a 40,000 gallon walk-through aquarium, which consists of 3 aquariums. One of them is 30,000 gallons, and the other 2 are 5,000 gallons each. The 5,000 gallon aquariums, one of them has native trout that are all native to Arizona, and the other one has endangered fish that are all native to Arizona as well. The big 30,000 gallon aquarium has largemouth bass, channel catfish, bluegills, striped bass, and a couple of flathead catfish. We get in twice a week, usually on Saturdays and Tuesdays. We put on our wetsuits and all of our dive gear, and we go in there and we actually feed the fish live, night crawlers, and we also feed them golden shiners. It's really cool. This is Chris.
My name is Chris. I work in the marine department. I come over here on the weekends and help out with the diving. We get in every Saturday and Sunday, suit up in the scuba gear and just jump in. It's a lot of fun. The feedings last about 15 minutes, depending on how long we draw them out.
If the tank needs it, usually we'll wipe down the inside of the acrylic with a sponge designed not to scratch the acrylic, and that's really just to clean algae. As far as cleaning the tank and replacing the water, I do all that stuff behind the scenes. You'll never actually see that. But if you come in on certain days they're not scheduled, you can see us in there with our scrub brushes, scrubbing the walls, the decoration, the rocks, and the inside of the acrylic too. And that isn't on a schedule, but it does happen pretty regularly. We can see out just as well as people can see in, and the people, especially kids, love to come in and watch it. They just go crazy. I mean, sometimes you can even hear them cheering through 2 inches of acrylic and 30,000 gallons of water. The fish will come up and grab food right out of your hand, or if you let a earthworm go, and 3 or 4 fish will collide, pretty much hurting each other just to get the worm. That's always fun to see.
There's actually 1 or 2 of the bass in here that are tamed to us. We can put food in their mouth, which is pretty interesting.
If we take off our glove in the middle of feeding and wiggle our fingers around, usually you'll get 1 or 2 of them that'll come up and bite your hand before they realize it's not food.
This is probably one of the only places you can also pet them, which is kind of odd. You can pet a bass.
Eventually we're probably going to have to downsize on some of the fish because a lot of the guys in here are less than half grown. The biggest bass that we have right now is probably around, maybe approaching 4 pounds, and they'll get 3 times that easily. So as they grow, we'll have to donate some of them back to the Arizona Game and Fish Department, and then we're just going to have some lunkers, some big bass. I would also like to get maybe some northern pike or some walleye in a different colder aquarium, just because they're extremely vicious and fun to watch, and people really like to come in and see that, but that won't maybe be for another year or so. We've got a 7,500 gallon trout pond with a machine, a gumball machine that we fill with trout food. Normally I fill it every single day. I may skip 1 or 2 days during the week, and it's not a set day, it just sometimes happens. And anybody can come in, pay a quarter, get a handful of food, and feed the trout at any time. It's a lot of fun, and the trout are always hungry, so it's really, really cool to watch them eat the food. The biggest trout was donated to us, and it's a female brown trout, and she's actually about 20 years old, I believe. She's at least 30 inches long, maybe even a little bit bigger. And she's the biggest fish in there, so if you see one in there that's really big, I guarantee that's probably her. I think it's bad luck to name fish. Seems like they always die when you name them. So
we don't have any names for
and
fishes.
We don't really ever lose fish here, except for due to aggression, which unfortunately you can't control aggression. But due to health issues, we haven't lost any fish since I've been here. That's 5 months now. What we feed them on the live shows is different than what they eat regularly. I feed them a mixture of chopped up tilapia meat, crawdad tails, tiger shrimp chopped up and deshelled. Sometimes if it's available, I'll feed them salmon fillets that are chopped up. The way we decided to get the fish was pretty much the way you see them and how they coexist in the wild. For example, when you come in here and see that we have a tank that has bass, catfish, 2 different types of catfish, bluegills, white bass. Those guys all coexist in the wild, so naturally when you put them into an aquarium, they're all going to do very well together, assuming the aquarium is large enough, and in this case it's plenty big. Along with our other tanks, our endangered native fish, those guys all coexist in the same river systems naturally in the wild, so they do all right as far as competing for food and stuff like that. All of our fish we obtained through the Arizona Game and Fish Department. A lot of the fish they get from either when they shock the water and count the fish to take the numbers, we get them there, and some companies that they affiliate themselves with, such as fish farms in other parts of Arizona that bring fish in for food purposes or for bait purposes, we can get them through them too.
It's the only place around here I know if you can dive with all these fish. You look through, you can see all the people watching you, and the fish are tame. You can feed them whatever you want right out of your hand. They're fairly friendly.
Eventually, we would like to have a system where we would wear radios built into our masks, and we could communicate with an outfitter on the outside of the aquarium, and that way the general public could come up, ask us questions about maybe which fish we're feeding, what we're feeding them, why we're feeding them that, and filter the questions, ask them back to the divers in the tank, and it would be a really good way for our viewers to learn about what we're doing, and it's just neat to see. You don't see that a lot. We would like families to be able to come in here and experience something that they can't experience anywhere else in Arizona or any other state for that matter, unless they go to a Cabela store. So when they come in here to see, I mean, you can go and see aquariums at a lot of places, but when you come in and watch one of our feeding shows, you'll get a unique experience that you won't see anywhere else.